Lane Kiffin, the first time LSU coach who came from Ole Miss, is trying to add two NFL stars to his roster, and Daquan Wright and Xavier Harris. They both were in the NFL. Daquan Wright was currently with the Browns before he was cut or waived off of the team, and now LSU looks to add him back on. Man, you already got a problem with NIL where the college system is just like the pros, so they're actually about to treat it just like that, having NFL players go back and play collegiate football. So Lane Kiffin is, would say the people would say the pioneer of it because he's looking to add two of them that was on the NFL roster just a day ago that got waived to his college roster that's going to play in a couple days. But thanks to the SEC and the Big Ten that they banned those rules starting today, August 25th, that if you leave college to go to the NFL, you no longer can play in those two conferences, which are the two conferences that we're looking to bring NFL stars back on to their collegiate rosters. Man, so I heard a couple of weeks ago, Lane Kiffin reached out to Todd Monken, who Daquan Wright played for, and asked at the time Todd Monken wasn't there to pick up the phone. So he got a sense of why Lane Kiffin had reached out, but he didn't know. But so we can look at this
Daquan,
clip right here, and basically this was his reaction.
Daquan Wright situation just seems weird, right? It seems like he's in the college transfer portal. He hadn't practiced, but then I saw him warming up after the rain delay today.
Man, it's crazy. I mean, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, it's crazy, Coach.
As far as I know, he's had a medical issue that wasn't allowing him to practice. That's a medical, you know, issue. It's nothing to do with me, you know. And then, and then he was cleared, so we dressed him just in case we had to have him. But when you don't rep, it's hard to put him on the field. JT was out there, so we didn't want to get Blake hurt, and he's only been with us a week, and we had a number of things where Browns hurt Browns, and which to the naked eye you won't see, but we had a number of things that way when you're putting in guys that haven't really been there, and some of that's true, and some of it, you know, isn't good enough from us as coaches once they go out there. But I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
do. You do.
I
That shit
wonder
ain't
why
fair.
Lane Kiffin reached out a week ago. Now I know.
There you go.
Shit, I didn't know. Now I know.
There
I
you
didn't call
go.
him back. Now I guess I should have.
Yes, you should have.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
So Lane Kiffin reached out to an NFL coach inquiring about that tight end, basically trying to see, hey, man, you either gonna sign him or not, because when you release him, we're gonna take him, which is kind of crazy. But Lane Kiffin says it's a loophole that he could have took. It's not his rule; it's just a loophole, so he's just gonna take advantage of it. And I mean, I guess in hindsight, it's true. I mean, if it's open, it's open. But still, though, you got to have some morals and know that what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
Coach, how comfortable are you with NFL players coming back to college?
It's a good question.
I think that was sarcastic.
I think that situations are different. So, you know, in general, should NFL players come back to college? I believe, and it doesn't matter necessarily what I believe, that answer would be no.
Okay.
I think every circumstance should be looked at differently. This is a very unique circumstance.
Mm-hmm. Explain it.
Because I think there's not a lot of education on this, how this all happened. The judge found that these players should have been told and should have known that they were going to be eligible for a fifth year, which every player moving forward, every athlete moving forward in all sports has. And so they should have known that in December when they were making decisions. Had they known that, they would have stayed. They had no eligibility. So this is not.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. So these players left college not knowing that they would be eligible for a fifth year, and now that the rule came out that those people that stayed in college are eligible, they want their extra year back. I didn't know that part. So I can see where the coach is coming from if they do want NFL practice squad players on their squad, because it wasn't fair to them while they were going to school.
Many other circumstances have been discussed over the years about professionals coming back. They did not know they had a year.
Bet.
Since then, the judge has said you do have a year. And so because of that, this is a different situation in that where they're just going back to play. They're wanting to go back to play the year that they've been granted.
That's true.
Not an individual case where one player went somewhere to try to win a case. This is a lot of athletes in these, and a lot of these around the country that, from my information, isn't stopping. You know, that there are cases right now that are going to come out where there's other athletes in the same cases. And so you may end up having hundreds of athletes in this case that are told they have a fifth year. And so this is just a really unique circumstance that isn't a traditional, you know, just pros going back to college, you know, just because they win a case.
Okay, I'm glad I watched that clip because I didn't know that it was because they were granted all the other college players are granted another year. I mean, then again, man, and even in basketball, man, they can do one and done. But once you leave, you leave. When you come back, you can't play basketball again. You can get your degree or whatever, but you cannot play basketball again. So that's just a risk you take leaving to go to the pros. If you're not good enough, just stay. We have another clip on what he said.
Do it. So, you know, we have, you know, made a decision to recruit some kids around the country. And, you know, through these multiple injunctions around the country, which this is not a first time, they've been in college sports for a while, a group of players were granted a fifth year of eligibility around the country in multiple sports. And through them winning their injunction and entry into the portal, they're available to recruit. And so ourselves, like many places around the country, are recruiting them. And at the end of the day, you know, because of these rulings, they're either going to play for you or they're going to play somewhere else in the country. So,
That's true.
we've made a decision to recruit them, like probably most people are. Do it.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. What do y'all think, man? Put in the comments. Y'all think it's fair for the NFL players that for players that left college to go to the NFL, not knowing a few months later that the NCAA will grant people in college an extra year. What do y'all say? What do y'all say to that? Is that like a too bad thing, or maybe they should have waited to see, or I mean they didn't know, so we got players. I mean, this is another college coach here that coaches Oregon, and I don't think he agrees with it. But I'm pretty sure if it was a rule, he would be recruiting within it.
Your thoughts just on guys coming from the NFL back to college? I know you guys aren't really interested in the 5-for-5, but just the state of college athletics right now from every sport just seems like who's eligible. You don't really know. What's your feelings on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of negatives that are involved around this. One, once you go to the NFL, to me, you're in the NFL. You don't get the opportunity to come back. Two, you know, most of us have built our rosters, and you have a limited roster limit now. So if you invited somebody back to your team, that means you're kicking somebody else off your team, right, to match your roster limits. I don't think that's fair to the players that worked all summer, all spring, and put themselves in position to be ready to work for a team. You know, to have somebody come back. But ultimately, you know, it used to be once you had an agent or once you went and did the combine or once you went to I mean, all those things qualified as you are no longer an amateur, you're a professional now once you declared for the draft. So to let any of those players come back, you know, fair or unfair to them, it's unfair to the sport. And I think it's unfair to the players that are on current teams, you know, for those guys to be coming back.
That's true too. That was a rule. If so, for basketball, if they sign with the agent, they're done. Can't go back. So, but if they did the draft combine without an agent, they are eligible to come back. So, I mean, it's a tricky situation. So, I mean, it's a tricky situation. Sean McVay said it feel like he's taking gummies and drugs and shit. So, everybody is frowned upon this information. I mean, what Lane Kiffin said makes sense, but then again, there are cut rules that if you sign with an agent or if you do this, if you do that, that's been established way before the NCAA has been granting people an extra year. So you can look at it both sides, man. Put y'all thoughts in the comments. It's kind of getting crazy that pros all conferences have not banned it. So I will still say pros are eligible to go back to college. That's crazy, man. If y'all like videos like this, just please Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.